Highway 16 between Hinton and Edson, Alberta. I'm running on schedule. So today's what? Today's Wednesday. I'm gonna be at the British Columbia border around 9 o'clock local time, and I need one pilot, which I booked yesterday with the help of my friend Rob, and we met at the Flying J in Sherwood Park. He brought me some gifts, and he took these short cell phone videos from his car as I was coming in and leaving. Yesterday I got a ticket, got pulled in for inspection east of Edmonton, Vermilion I think it was called, and the guy found that one of my annual inspection stickers was not valid anymore, and I'm not sure how that happened. I usually keep an eye on them, but one of the, I forgot about one, so he gave me a ticket for 360 bucks Canadian, and made me drop the trailer and go find the inspection station, because it was for the truck. And I just came from US, right? In US it's much cheaper to do these inspections, and so I always do them over there. So I was under full impression that I just did it because I know my truck. I got it in February of 2018, right? So I know and the first inspection was done by my local Kenworth dealer, right? And so I know that it expires, 1 year after that. So usually I do it end of winter, beginning of spring. Turns out the sticker on my door says March 2019. Like, what? Like, how did I not do it this year? So March 2019, that means that it expired in March this year, March 2020, right? And I remember I looked through my envelopes, through my expenses and receipts, because I found my envelope for March this year. I thought maybe those guys made a mistake. Maybe I did have the inspection this year, but no receipt. So anyway, the ticket was 360 bucks Canadian, I think, and I got lucky. I found the inspection in the Vermilion, 2 miles away. The inspection station. It was again, I used truckdown.com, so highly recommended. If you're ever in trouble, like a flat tire, you need a mechanic, like, forget Google, forget Yellow Pages, just go to truckdown.com. And I'm not making any money from this, but this was like event number 3 or 4 where this thing saved my butt, because you cannot find stuff they have, you cannot find on Google for some reason. I don't know why. Like, people put listings in this, and so I went there. I put in Alberta, town, Vermilion. What are you looking for? Truck shop, truck repair shop. and the first one popped up. It was this Southview Trucking Company. Basically, it's a trucking company, but they also do repairs because they have a shop, right? I guess they're fixing their trucks, but they also trying to fix other people's trucks, you know, for money. And so the phone number is there. I call them. I say, hey, I know it's a stupid question because the answer probably will be no, but do you guys do inspections on trucks? And he says, Alberta annual inspections? I said, yeah. And he says, we do. I said, you kidding? I said, I just got a ticket here at this Vermilion inspection station from a very nice police officer, and he is not letting me go until I produce proof of inspection. And the guy says, come on over. Okay. So I went to the building, and of course now they don't let you in. Like, you know, the inspection, everything is closed, you cannot come in. But the guy saw me from the window, came out. I said, sir, I found an inspection station. And he says, okay, let me finish the paperwork here, because he also found some other discrepancies. But that was the only ticket I got. And so eventually I dropped the trailer, drove 3 miles, because you have to go around there. Drove 3 miles to the shop, spent a couple of hours there, and $450 Canadian later, I was back at my trailer with a valid inspection sticker, which is now here on my window. You cannot see, but yeah, it's over here. They put it on the window. And I know you probably cannot see anything, but I just giving you the reality of the trucking life, right? Because I want to deliver Thursday, tomorrow, so that I get paid Friday. Because the problem is, like a slight logistics problem, is that the cutoff time at my factoring company is 10 o'clock Eastern time in the morning, right? So Friday is going to be 10 o'clock. So if I submit my paperwork after 10 Eastern, they will not pay me until Monday. And 10 Eastern is 7 British BC time or 8 Alberta time. Like, for example, now it says 8:04, but it's actually 6:04 local time, right? And so I'm hustling like crazy, so to deliver Thursday, like anytime. As long as I deliver Thursday anytime, then, you know, Friday I can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, or even Thursday night I can send them all the paperwork, right? And it'll be technically before 10 a.m. Friday that they receive it, and then I'll be paid on the same day. Very important, because it's been a very long trip, lots of expenses, and I was buying all these early Christmas presents for myself, so I'm slowly running out of money. I need an influx of cash, to get which I need to deliver this load. I'm going super slow. I'm doing 50 miles an hour, 80 kilometers an hour, because I don't know this road. I drove here maybe, I don't know, like 10 years ago. It's a scary, scary part of the country. Like, not now in the summer, but, well, I know guys from BC will be laughing at me, and from Alberta, you know, like everybody's flying by, but, you know, again, it's a road that I very rarely drive on, and we're coming into the mountains, you know. And so in Canada, you don't have to be for 10 hours in the sleeper. You only have to be 8. And so yesterday I drove, this guy kept me there at the inspection for 3.5 hours, plus I wasted 2 hours at the actual shop to do the inspection. So yesterday was a short day, but my buddy Rob says, if you want to deliver Thursday, do not stop in Edmonton. He says, because then you're not gonna make it. He says you have to go at least to Edson, which is 2 hours west. And so I pushed myself yesterday and I ended up in Edson. It's a tiny little petrol pass there, and it's dark, and they don't have the spots that I like where I can just pull in, you know, and park alongside. They had a bunch of spots, but just for regular tractor trailers, right? And I tried to back. I cannot see anything. My Jeep, you know, I'm tired. Everything goes left and right. Does not work. I said, screw this. And so I just backed my booster and half of my axle group. I backed into a spot because it was like the last spot before the building of the actual truck stop, and the building was closed. And I figured, what the heck, I'm not in the way. People from the pump can leave, you know. I'm like way off to one side, kind of like a lawn side like I wanted, but I had to back a little to make room for people to leave, you know, to open the exit. And so yeah, it worked. I set up my alarm for 4:15, thinking, okay, I'm gonna leave at 5, but I knew because I shut down at 9, the 8-hour rule for the sleeper, right, ends at 5, so I cannot leave earlier than 5 anyway. And I said, you know what, I looked up on the map, this next stop, Hinton, is only 85 kilometers away, and then from Hinton it's 100 kilometers or 60 miles to the BC border. That's where my pilot says, okay, I'm gonna meet you there at 8:30. And I said, let's make it 9, you know, just in case. But then I look at the distances, actually it's not that big, and so I changed my alarm clock for 5. Got at 5, and the night was good. I slept okay, and at 5 o'clock some guy who probably drove all night with a B train is trying to back next to me to the spot. There was a truck on my left, but it left during the night. And so this guy is trying to do the same thing I was trying to do on the night before, and he has a B train. It's dark, and the spot is not that wide, you know, and I'm thinking, this guy's gonna hit me, you know, I better get out of here. So I moved forward a little bit, like 10-20 feet, but I cannot block the pump, so I was trying to make room for this guy, and he still cannot back. He goes like this, you know, seesaw style, back and forth, and his stupid alarm beeps, burp, 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 burp. I'm like, holy Jesus, like I didn't want to leave until like 5:30, but this guy is kind of like pushing me out, you know. And so screw this, like there's no coffee, there's no nothing. It's a stupid petrol pass, because the building opens at 6, you know, and I cannot wait till 6, so I just left. But thanks to my bud Rob, I got Pepsi, I got water, I got some Polish kielbasa, sausage, you know, I got lots of food, so we good. Oh, and finally, look, it's getting lighter. Like finally I can see. Do you see this? Like, you see how the sky, so now it's only 6:10, and that's why, you know, that's the reason why I didn't want to get up too early, right? Because I'll be in Hinton 41 kilometers, 25 miles, because everybody says you have to fill up in Hinton, because after Hinton it's like 6 hours to Prince George, and that's the only place where you can buy fuel. And I think that guy had high beams on. And so everybody says you have to fill up here, right? And again, from Hinton it's 100 kilometers, so probably will take me more than an hour, because it's gonna be you know, crazy mountain road. Again, not crazy, I know, but for me it's crazy. But let's say I would need 1.5 hours, right? And the guy is waiting for me at 9 o'clock over there, so I can leave at 7:30 and still be okay. But I'm gonna be there at 6:30, like 40 kilometers, right? So now it's 6:11. Yeah. And so it's a good thing that I didn't wake up too early, because then of course I have to stop my day. Again, Canada is different, right? It's instead of 14 hours, it's 16 hours. So if I started at 5, I have to stop at 9. Because I'm not gonna, well, but today I'm gonna do a lot of driving. So we have, what, 13 hours they allow us in Canada? 13 hours driving, 16 hours shift. So I have to shut down for 8 hours after 13 hours of driving, or at 9 o'clock, which will be 16, because I started at 5, right? Makes sense? And that's the view. I'm near the mountains, so this is the last civilized stop in Alberta before you hit British Columbia. And the British Columbia border is 103 kilometers away, 62 miles. And I came here like 45 minutes ago, and they had some kind of a, as I'm driving, I see cop cars parked in the middle of the road with lights flashing, and then as I come close I see there's a police officer actually directing traffic. And then I come here, you know, because I wanted to top up, like I only probably need, like, I don't know, 50 gallons of fuel, but in BC it's more expensive, and there's gonna be like real mountains between here and BC. You can see them over there far in the distance. So I wanted, my pilot said, I just met him actually, because he's coming from Edmonton, and we were communicating on a cell phone, and he says, hey, I'm between Hinton and Edson, and I spent the night in Edson, so he was later than me, so he just stopped by, and so there's no power at this petrol, but across the street there's a Husky, and I called them on the phone. They're like 300 meters away. I called them on the phone. I said, hey, you guys have power? They said, yeah, the pumps are rebooting, and that was half an hour ago. And so I told the pilot, because I said, hey, Husky is working. So, and he says, oh, I'm gonna go there and top up my tanks. And I said, let me know if the big pumps are working, then I'll go there too, because I don't have a fuel card. I just use my credit card. But mostly, so I don't really need fuel, but mostly I just wanted to, you know, get coffee and use the washroom, because there was nothing there where I was sleeping, where I spent the night in Edson. Everything was down. But now I don't want to move, you know. So 10-15 more minutes and we'll see what's happening. This is Highway 16 west of Hinton. So it's no longer a 4-lane, it's a 2-lane. And going is very slow because it's, you know, the hills are pretty big here. So this is still Alberta. The pilot that I met at the petrol pass, he left, he went forward, because, you know, I'm only paying him to escort me through British Columbia. I don't need him in Alberta, like, which often kind of like makes me wonder, right? Like, the roads are the same, you know, like the same Highway 16 on the Alberta side, and should be pretty much the same on the BC side, you know, like, but over here we don't need pilots, over there we need pilots. And it's pretty expensive, so over here they charge at least $1.60 Canadian per kilometer. So and of course, you know, it's about 900 kilometers or 600 miles from Alberta line to Terrace. Terrace, British Columbia, where I'm going, and so going through the mountains with a heavy load, it's not possible to do it in one day, and so of course they charge you overnight fee, which is hotel. I'm telling you, it's a great gig, you know. But I keep throwing around these threats, right? That when I retire, I want to be a pilot car, because you see, like, the trucker or the carrier pays you for the hotel, so your hotels are free, at least when you're working, right? And so 900 kilometers at $1.60 a kilometer plus the overnight fee, it will be, we agreed on 1,600 Canadian, which is roughly, I don't know, 700 plus 40, roughly like 1,100, 1,200 US. Constant up and down, and so and I wasn't able to get fuel, you know. Like, I know Petrol Pass in Canada, Petrol Pass, you need a fuel card. You need a special Petrol Pass fuel card to buy fuel. And so yesterday I called them because I was looking for parking, right? And I called them. They were open. I said, "Can I buy fuel?" And this guy says, "Yeah, I can help you," because I know they have their own. I'm pretty sure they have their own Petrol Pass card. Yeah, and they can go to the pump and they can prepay. Like, they use their card and then you pay them, you know. Like, I did this in somewhere in Northern Ontario, I forgot, but that's how they do it. But these guys, he clearly does not know how to do this. And so after sitting there for an hour, and then eventually I needed to go to the washroom, so the pilot guy says, "Hey, I can give you a ride to the Husky." And so he took me in his pickup truck to the Husky. I bought coffee, I bought an apple, the washrooms were open, and then he took me back. And by this time, the Petrol Pass, the power was on. For some reason, on this side of the street, there was no power. And I go inside to prepay, and the guy says, "Oh, I don't have any control over the pumps on that side," like, meaning card lock. So I said, "Wait, I called you guys, and who did you talk to?" I said, "I have no idea. Somebody who answered the phone at this location, right? He told me it's possible." This guy says, "No, I cannot help you, sir. I'm sorry." I said, "Okay." But you know, I had 75% fuel, and actually there were guys sitting at the pump, and I said, "Hey, do you know, like, is it really Prince George, the nearest location where you can fuel in BC?" They said, "No, there's another town 2 hours away, like 200 kilometers. So it's not like it's completely, like, barren, you know, for fuel, but I'm pretty sure I'll have enough to Prince George, because that's, let's say, 500 kilometers, I'm burning 70 liters per 100 kilometers. That's only 350 liters. And yesterday, when I was in Edmonton, I filled up almost 500, you know. And then after Edmonton, I just did 2 hours to Edson, and from Edson I did 1 hour to Hinton. So know, I got big tanks, so it should be okay. But that's of course another reason not to rush, you know, just try to save fuel. Alright, so now there's gonna be a park in here somewhere. See, I've been here many moons ago, so to speak. 50, wow. So this is Jasper National Park of Canada. Which way do you go? Purchase park pass. Through traffic. Oh wow, I don't remember this. I guess this is park pass. I guess this is for people that want to use the park facilities, right? I hope it's not too narrow. No, it should be okay. Yeah, I guess you're buying a pass if you wanna do some hiking or hunting or fishing or something. So now we are in Jasper National Park. So over here is gonna be slow going because they have all these crazy animals. You are in avalanche country. Oh wow. So they have all these goats and like basically, you know, it's a wild wildlife refuge. So you gotta be careful here. And I remember, yeah, I went through here like I think 2 times. And there'll be signs like where the animals cross often, there will be signs and the speed limit will be lower. Wow, and this is something, you know. And I got my camera ready to go. If I see something interesting, I'm gonna stop and take a picture. Because it will be a shame not to take at least a couple of photos of this beauty, you know. Yeah, it'll definitely be easier once I have the pilot, you know, because this guy, his name's Bill. So I'm pretty sure he knows all these roads. He comes here all the time. So he can give me some tips. And this K-Whopper is dying to pass me. And this white K-Whopper, he passed me on the way to Hinton. And now he's passing me again. So he's a very fast driver. But he's passing me multiple times. What is that telling you? I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. Yeah, it was double tanker. And of course they always change lanes right before the lane ends, you know. Which shows the level of I guess familiarity. Sorry about that. The level of confidence in local traffic conditions. right at the border with British Columbia, which is 72 kilometers away, 45 miles. That's where we agreed with the pilot, because there's no cell phone service. You know, like if you break down, you're on your own. I guess unless you have the satellite phone. But it's very sporadic cell phone service near towns. Like there will be service, they told me, in Prince George, and there was service in Hinton. So no issues with the load except the ticket I got. And actually there was one more issue, you know, when I lifted the lift axle when I entered Canada, I forgot to move my fifth wheel, because my fifth wheel was positioned for the lift axle, right? So it was way forward, and of course I was a bit heavy on the front when I lifted the axle, but the gross weight on my permit was higher than my actual weight. And that's what kind of like they like this, you know, like when the officer sees that, okay, you over on one axle or two axles, but at least on the permit you paid for the permit. And actually I paid like 750 bucks, I think. So it's a pretty expensive permit. So I paid for all this extra weight, right? And I told him, I said, I can fix this. Just give me funny, the sign says right lane ends, whereas actually the left lane ends. And so I told the inspector, I said, just give me a chance to fix this. I said, I'm gonna move my fifth wheel back because I had lots of room on the drives, like in terms of weight. And I said, in the back, yeah, the tridem on the trailer was a bit too heavy too. And I said, in the back, I can increase the pressure on my booster, and that will transfer the weight. And the guy says, okay, why don't you do that while I'm doing the paperwork? So he says, I still have to document this. And so that's what he gave me a ticket for the expired annual inspection sticker, but for the weights he just gave me like inspection report, you know. So no big deal, stuff happens. And that's my new Alberta pricey sticker. Like in US, right? It's like 60 bucks US to do inspection on a semi truck. In Canada, for some reason, it's, I don't know, 8 times that, because the rules here require them to take the wheels off. So they have to pull the wheels to inspect the brakes, which makes no sense to me. And of course, there's more labor because of that, right? Yeah, I'm gonna stop at that BC line. So the pilot guy said there will be a pull off area. He says about 1 mile after the sign. Like once you enter BC, there will be a pull out area, like a parking area. He says that's where all pilots and truckers congregate and meet. And he says, let's use channel 1. No, he said, let's use channel 2. And then he said, oh, actually, let's go on channel 1. I said, okay. So I have my radio set up on channel 1. And you see the speed limit, 70. The guy is doing 110 minimum in kilometers. So he's like 40, 50 kilometers over. Yeah, something like this, you know, like a picture with a small creek in the foreground and mountains in the distance. But these are not very cute mountains because there's no snow at the top. Like it would look much better when the peaks are covered with snow. So yeah, we're only 40 miles away from the BC line. Yeah, I see they have these pull-out areas, right? So I guess that's what I'm gonna see in 40 miles. Oh wait, it's still 70 kilometers. Okay. At least I remembered to charge my GoPros. I charged them both, so I have the second one ready to go when this one dies, because this is kind of like, I know lots of people, like locals, right? They don't care about this, but I don't see this stuff, you know. It's beautiful. And this is nothing. This is still Alberta. Just wait till we get to British Columbia when we gonna go really inside the mountains. We're still east of the mountains. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So maybe I'll stop this camera so that I'm not confused. So this camera will be for the Alberta footage, and then we'll start the second camera for the British Columbia footage. Yeah, Rob yesterday brought me my favorite protein bars. Okay, 90, finally. Alright. Except it's a hill. Let's see if we can get to 1500. Can we? Alright, 1520. So then I can switch gears. Beautiful. 62 kilometers to the border. Talbot Lake. GPS now says 56 kilometers. Wait, oh yeah, no, it's correct. It was 60 something before. Now this is nice. The mountains with the clouds. This would make a good picture. You know? But you need something in the foreground, like a lake or a dead moose, something to add drama to the picture, or maybe a strange the trucker with the broke down truck. Oh, you see a lake, so this will be good. Like a picture with the lake in the foreground and mountains like that. Wow, that would be awesome. But I don't have time to stop, you know. For people that want to take pictures or they want to go for a dip. You know, because I love photography, so I really like this kind of like terrain, you know, like Montana is my favorite state in US in the summer only. And now BC comes very close in terms of natural beauty, but in winter it can be real dangerous over here, kind of like Colorado. This is, yeah, you see there's a sign, yellow sign, shows a picture of the mountain goat, and that's why the speed limit became 70 kilometers an hour, because these guys don't care. Oh wow, look at the water here, like the color. Wow. So these guys just walk across the road like there's no tomorrow. But you see, at least there's a lot of trucks, right? There's a lot of traffic, so least you can ask somebody for help, you know. I mean, if something happens, you know. But somehow my tablet works. I don't know, is it because it just shows you it just uses the location, which is GPS, so it does not need cell phone service. Send me an email. I think it's on the tablet. To say, I got a new bracket for the tablet. Got it at the Flying J in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I like how the tablet sits here, which keeps the volume controls unobstructed. And they have a hole in here so you can connect the cable. Looks like a better design than the one I had before. much coffee and it's already gone. And I only did 60 kilometers, 40 miles. Not good. Again. Check this out. What is that? A moose or a deer? Yeah, it looks like a deer. Wow. Huge. I didn't lose my wheels. Attached my 70 to 200 to my camera. I could have taken a shot. So if I see another opportunity like that, I'm stopping, because there's a very wide shoulder and I'm no longer working for Landstar. That's where the deer was going. It was going to the river. Oh, check this out. Shall I stop? Son of a bitch. You see that? And what's cool is that they're not afraid of people. But the first one was prettier because it had horns. Yeah, this is awesome. You know, I want to come back here in my car with my camera, but not in winter, but again when it's warm. sign says, attention, wildlife crossing next 12 kilometers. I think this is where I saw rams, and yeah, it's gonna get interesting. But the color of the river, it's like some kind of a tropical sea. Sign for Jasper, so you have to leave the highway to get to Jasper. That's a famous town for winter sport activities. Check out this crazy dude. 70, which is 43 miles per hour. Oh, now it's 90, 56 miles per hour. And we are 18 kilometers, just over 10 miles from the BC border and my pilot Bill. So yeah, this was just an introduction. So the scary stuff will begin in 10 miles. And you can see, like, I always feel like when the mountains come close to the road, that's when you know that you're gonna be driving in some difficult conditions. You see how close they are, right? And so they're getting closer, and at a certain point it'll be, just mountains. And then when they start moving away from the highway, that's when I start breathing easier, because that means that you're getting out of the mountains, but when they are this close, okay, 9 miles, 15 kilometers. Yeah, it would be cool to bring my brother, who's also into photography, like in the summer, again, not in winter, but in the summer, like to take my car and just drive the same Highway 16. So now I know what I want for Christmas, except I want to do it in the summer in my car. This would be awesome. We have some construction over here. So they're probably building some set of lights for wildlife. But then they have to train them. They have to train them to recognize the green signal. I don't think that would be easy. Guy. But so far the signal is go slow. And she's waving to me, go. I wish I could do that with a 105,000 pound excavator, but oh, they stopped those guys. They stopped the guys on the side of the road there. imagine 600 miles of this. 950 kilometers, I think. And that's from the BC line to the Terrace, BC, where I'm going. So today and tomorrow are gonna be very long days, boys and girls. This would be a nice picture too, but it would look better with the water at the bottom, right? And then clouds and mountains in the background. Time the connections between the bridge and the road are very rough over here. That's why I started slowing down. And you can tell by the color of the pavement, you know, like the asphalt on the bridge look different color. So I guess it means it was recently repaired. And they don't make the transition between the road and the bridge smooth. They don't care. And that's why, you see how many times I shift? It's crazy. Like, it's one thing when you know, driving on the freeway most of the time. But when you have a heavy load and you go into the mountains, you want to have a Eaton automatic 18 speed. Trust me. So probably that's, yeah, that will be one of the best selling features on the next truck. Seven kilometers. So Bill said there'll be a sign, but you still have to keep driving. And look for the parking spot. So this will be the end of this video. We're gonna call it Volvo 480 Edson, Alberta to BC line. And then I'm gonna switch cameras. So I'm gonna upload this today, but then probably tomorrow I'll do the BC. I'll try to find some cute, cute views, not some boring highway, you know. But this was good practice for me, you know, good practice, because yeah, the mountains are gonna begin. This was good. Kind of like get in the groove, you know. So there's gonna be lots of shifting, lots of slow driving, lots of flashing lights on hills, lots of fan sound, you know, like this. Alright, so that was the bill was saying. It says you will see an exit gate from the park. Because up until now we were inside the Jasper National Park. And it says the gate, and then I think he said like 3 miles. You in Canada when all the signs are in English and French. If this was US, it'll be probably English and Spanish, right? But here we don't speak no Spanish. It's either we or yes. All right, where is it? It's cool that once we enter BC, we switch to a Pacific time, so we gain 1 hour of daylight. So if it's 8 minutes to 12 in Alberta, it's basically 10 o'clock, whereas here it's 12, right? But in BC now it's still 9 o'clock, which is good. Just waiting for that BC border, you know, sign. There should be a big sign. Welcome to British Columbia. mileage. So 214. 214. So the sign on the right says "Welcome, British Columbia." But then you see this one, it says no trucks. 214, 214. Yeah, 250 meters over here. Yeah, over there. Time zone. Move watch back 1 hour, the sign says. So this is it. So my pilot should be over there. I think I see his that's him, blue truck with Alright, so we're gonna stop recording here and then we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue on the new camera.